All right, welcome to Sword and Cross Tarot. You know, you really have to admit that we live in a truly sickening world when a child has been beaten, everyone knows about it, and not one person, attorneys, uh, CPS, uh, public individuals, not anyone wants to stand up and fight for this child. And that goes to prove and goes to show just how demonic some people are. When, as adults, to hear this, to see this, to know this, yet people target you because of what you're fighting for. I mean, guys, that's demonic. When you are fighting for a child that has been beaten, abused numerous times throughout his life, ever since he was an infant, and if the attorneys don't want to fight for it, it appears to me that people are more about, let's go with the flow, let's kiss butt, let's just go with the flow of how court goes. Let's not, when we have all the evidence where one of these mothers claiming the other mother from a different state reached out to her for them both to work together to try to take someone else out, prevent someone else from making it known what is happening in this home with these children, all out of envy, jealousy, spite, hatred, because she lost her case. And then all of the people in Tarot Land that jumped on the hate wagon, all of the, people here in my own community that worked with some of these people to jump on the hate wagon. So, it's not hard to see. I don't care if you're a pastor, if you're an attorney, if you're a tarot reader, if you're a law official, I don't care who you are. Anyone that turns a blind eye to what has happened here and helps smother it, sweep it under the rug, I have to honestly wonder, what are you thinking? What are you thinking? The proof is there about the rare phenomena that happened. The proof is there that this happened during COVID. The proof is there that this happened during a time when I was already being gang stalked, already being targeted. I mean, where does your mind have to be to not be able to comprehend something rare and something amazing has happened here? And it happened while someone was fighting for an innocent little dude that was being so abused. But yet I cannot get this public. I cannot get not one soul that says they're divine, Christian, anything to stand up and help fight for this child, help fight for what these children have gone through. We truly live in a very, very sickening world when this takes place, and so many people want to target the person speaking the truth on it, and so many people want to target the person that was trying to stand up and fight for it. I mean, there's just no other term that comes to mind other than demonic. When you hear that little man screaming, being beaten, we have all the evidence in the world for any attorney to walk the dog with this case. I have proof where they stole my identity. I have proof where they were gang stalking us. I have proof where one mother states on video the other mother reached out to her. We have proof the CPS worker lied for the mother in the other state. It appears to me that what this is about is going with the flow. As far as the attorneys in Carolina and everything, you already got your 10 grand. It appears it's about going with the flow of the court. Could possibly even be clout chasing, butt kissing. I don't know. But what I know is this. When somebody pays you a fee and they hand you all the evidence, and then you don't want to fight the case, you didn't want to fight in the first place. So, that sounds like a bored thing. But we'll get to that later. I just cannot tell you how shocked I am. How shocked I am. First off, like I said, past 6 years, these folks that have come here wanting me to help them, and it's their mentality, and I'll say that because of this. I watched Bill and Shelby get arrested right here on my property. They were living in the camper. And, for some reason, apparently they thought that was me. That had nothing to do with me. But that's what I mean about the mentality. When you're dealing with people that have that mentality of, let me screw you over before you screw me over, even when God literally puts a blessing in front of them, they'll still try to destroy it. Being the fact that apparently she came here holding a grudge. And like I say, though, I'm just tired of holding back. I am going to make a video. It's probably going to be next week because I do work this week. But I am going to make a video on each and every one and tell the story, the truth, on what went down with each and every one. There are a lot of allegations here where people are trying to put false allegations toward me on things I never had a hand in. So, like somebody stole their man. Baby, nobody can take your man if you ran off and left him here. And I'm just so sick of hearing all of it, seeing all of it. I'm sick of being the one targeted, perjured, literally crucified because I have spoke up on both of these mothers. What court system do we have when, why do we need ad libs? Why do we need postpone? Why do we need all of this when the evidence is there? The evidence is there of what went on in this home and what's still going on in this home. I have other audio as well, the children speaking on things. And what was done here was very gruesome, very demonic, just very sickening and gruesome. But yet not one person, again, Christians that are screaming they're good people, tarot readers that are screaming they're divine, political officials, not one person has wanted to grab the bull by the horns and do what was right. And the right thing to do is to make sure those children are removed from that home. The evidence is there. What's the problem? And that's the problem. It's there. They should have been removed. There's just been so many delays. People tried to delay my money, delay jobs. We already know someone did something to hold that YouTube channel back. And while it was held back, other tarot readers decided they could be vultures and just pick the meat off the bone. Is it because tarot is involved with this? I'm not the one that involved tarot readers with this. I simply came out to speak on what was happening. I was simply following intuition and where I felt I was supposed to be going. Again, it was a rare phenomenon, and I'm sick to death of people trying to portray I'm crazy because of that. Again, in 2018, I put in 760 hours of overtime. In 2019, I put in 843 hours of overtime, and we rolled into COVID. And that is when that cross appeared. And you people have tried to literally annihilate me over it. And the entire time, Miss Sampson and her family were already gang stalking me and my son. And I'm so sick to death of people, how they act over racism. And this is part of the problem with our world. People are like, tootie, shush, shush. Don't speak it. If it's African-American people and you speak it, automatically you're racist. If it's white people or courts and you speak it, they don't want to hear that. Well, I thought part of the judicial system was the truth being told. Because apparently there is an issue there. When the truth can't be told, because the court system is holding you back from speaking the truth. And I would never understand why an attorney wouldn't want to fight a case that could make them world renowned all the way around the world. Again, this isn't something I did to myself. This is something apparently God decided to put on me. He knows what's in my heart and soul. And through all of the attacks, the BS from the water company, the $1,200 that cost me for the new motor, septic system pumped. My septic system didn't need to be pumped out. It was just fine. One of the family members so-called helping me fix the pump and tore it all to hell and back. Family member of the folks at the water company. And I'm just so sick to death of all of it. I'm sick to death of watching people wear masks, walking around there pretending someone they're not, trying to portray I'm someone I'm not when I'm nothing but authentic. tried to shame me. You've tried to crucify me. You literally tried to take me out. And it's fact. There's proof on that. When I put up a GoFundMe for this man, y'all immediately went to it and tried to destroy it. And I have pictures of that as well. Don't donate to these people. Oh, they're con artists. Well, it seems to me the con artists are the ones that was running game behind the scenes to try to mentally play with people, try to keep the truth from coming out about a mother who placed her 2 children in a staged accident for profit, about a mother who watches her daughter beat her grandchild, and who says, take him out to the woods. You just can't get more vile, sickening, or mentally ill. So for everything y'all have tried to point at me, how you've tried to make me look, I may not always have the proper words, but I know good and damn well right and wrong. And if anybody has anything to say about how I've dealt with the situation with these foster kids, how about you go live with their mother? Huh? Because she taught these children nothing. And I do mean nothing. If they drank out of a Coke can, they dropped it and left it right there. If they made a sandwich, they left a spoon in the mayonnaise and left the bread, everything open. I have tried to teach and redirect for almost 4 years. And I tried to tell y'all about that youngest one. I also have an audio on that one. And if I ever play that audio, you're going to know everything I sat and said to you was the truth. So we had a lot of people get together here out of hate, envy, jealousy. Just demonic gluttony. People screaming, my kids, when it was never about any of these kids. It's about saving face, wearing your mask, and trying to outrun criminal charges. But all I can say at this point is God's seen it all. God's seen what every one of you did. Every one of you. I have sat right here for 16 years, mind my own business. I've never had the cops come into my door unless I needed to make a report on something. A lot of people made a lot of false allegations. A lot of people manipulated the judicial system in Carolina, the CPS system in Carolina. Miss Velma Nethery, by putting her hand off in that, I mean, this one's nothing but a chronic liar. Like old hound dog, baby. If it opens its mouth to drool, it's lying. And that's fact. That's fact. Anyone that's ever been around her, it didn't take them long to figure it out. Even her own kids said that's why they walked away. Tired of the hustle. Tired of the lies. And I'm just fed up with all of it. A lot of people cannot see when a blessing is literally sat in front of them. Every blessing anyone has brought to that woman, she literally slapped them in the face. So that's what I wanted to say. Just how sickening and vile it is that this baby has gone through what he's gone through. These little girls have gone through what they've gone through. And, my son and I, like I said before, he never wanted to bring racism into it, but racism brought itself into it, as well as racist people brought theirself into it. This man and this woman, where these children live, and I'm assuming, which I'm pretty sure I'm correct on that, CPS gave them they may have even set it up to make it look like they were foster parents. While the mother lives, while the abusers, they're all the abusers, they coveted what was done to this child. Every one of them living in the home need to be arrested for obstruction of justice and child abuse. But they work so hard trying to portray it with somebody else in the wrong. Well, last I checked, it's not okay to beat a kid because they're hungry. It's not okay to beat a kid because they're not ready to go to bed. So I don't know where your mind is, Bear. But apparently you're just a big old piece of crap. Just a big pile of crap. Which isn't hard to see, because when it come to fighting for your own grandchildren, you stepped out. Way back, when you stole the wife you have now, when you stole her income tax and went back to your ex. That's fact. That's known. Then you ran off and left her and went back to this one, when it was time to fight for your own grandbabies. But yet you want to commandeer and run domain over someone else's children. Matter of fact, the mother even told the children, if you keep speaking about the abuse, Bear has a GUN and he's going to hurt your father. You tell me where the hell that's okay at. You tell me where it's okay for a counselor to tell a child, turn a blind eye to the abuse. So I'm sure you can all see at this point, and if you can't, either you're just being racist or don't care to see it. What was right and what was wrong. And I assure you, that little man screaming for mercy while he was being beat was not right. But God's seen every one of you. Every one of you. And I guarantee you, I've sat here and I've watched people just dying off like flies. And every one of these people either put their mouth in it or their hands in it. So, the way I see it, there's more coming. There's more coming. I have to say at this point, the way this rare phenomenon happened, I think God himself is sick of the churches, sick of the demons, and sick of children being abused and slaughtered. And that's just how I see it. And anybody else that thinks it's okay to protect any mother, I don't care if you're Mexican, Asian, black, white, green, orange, or yellow, anyone that thinks it's okay to protect mothers that treat children this way, I know our patience wears thin sometimes. But that's not okay. That's not okay. And it's not okay either to try to make a man look like he was a burden on you. Yet he was the one running your kids back and forth to school. He was the one home with your kids every day while you beat the streets. Because all he wanted was to protect his children. Because you let every drug addict roll right through your home. And I'm talking laid up doing drugs in front of them. Like your brother beating on their door, knocking on their door 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. There was no outlet there. There's no kitchen there. There's no bathroom there. That was just an 8 and a 9-year-old child. 8 and a 10-year-old child. That's not okay. That is not okay. I also remember when you told him, go ahead, take me to court. I'm going to lie and tell him you tried to hurt me. And that's exactly what you did. That's exactly what you did. On the police report, it proves you lied. So I have a hard time understanding why any attorney, why anyone will not stand up and fight or help in the fight for these children. Why y'all are working so hard to keep it hidden, to keep that channel hidden, to keep my voice from being heard, to keep my son's voice from being heard, and to keep these children's voices from being heard. It's not hard to see. A lot of corruption went on here. A lot of higher-up corruption. A lot of CPS corruption. Y'all protected that mama. Right down to the CPS worker laughing, lying, stating. When Miss Sampson stated, CPS worker lied for her own drug test. Seems to me Carolina's trying to cover all this up. Carolina's trying to smooth it over. Baby, if y'all can't see already, it's going to get bust loose. You already got judges being taken down. It's coming. No matter how much you try to fight it, you can't stop it. You can't stop what apparently the big man himself has pre-orchestrated. But I have to tell you, it is very vile and sickening to watch grown women sit out here and spin stories for $1. Grown women that call themselves mothers, grandmothers. It's very vile and sickening, especially the ones that scream they're Christian. Peace out.